Here come the men in black. See what you're going for there. What's going on, everybody? We're the Cinefanatics. My name is Chris Adams.
And I'm Robert Adams.
And we are here for a review of Men in Black International.
Which I don't know if I'm pulling off of Men in Black or if I'm more like the Terminator, but yeah.
My first thing is I've already forgotten about this movie. Did we get neuralized in the theater?
I think it's deneuralized. No, it is neuralizer.
This is called a neuralizer.
See, he got so neuralized he can't even remember it's being called neuralized. Called being neural.
All right, so some quick history. We did like the original Men in Black.
The first one.
Men in Black 2.
It was okay.
Yeah. Men in Black 3 had some good moments-ish.
It had like one or two.
And now we've got this one that has completely done away with the star power that is Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
To be fair, though, they've taken up the star power of Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson.
Basically coming off of Thor Ragnarok, which I know is what everyone's saying with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. I think they made a fantastic pair in this movie. I think they did very well, but it was very heavily sided towards Tessa Thompson, and Chris Hemsworth at some points really kind of felt like an afterthought. Like he really wasn't a major focus. He kind of reminds me of his character in the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Exactly.
Like, he's there, he says some funny stuff, he's there to throw something in the mix, but then he just,
He wasn't as quite a doofus in this as he was in that.
Mm-hmm.
He had his moments in this, but for the most part, he was... He was a secondary character to Tessa Thompson's lead. And by the way, we're not going to do any spoilers in this, so...
Now that we're halfway done with this review.
Now we're halfway done with the review already. That being said, I'll just jump right in here. Here's what I thought about the movie. It's about the gosh darn okayest movie out there. Just good. It's okay.
Glad you could put that in Texas speak.
Gee willikers.
And go get some Whataburger.
Here's the thing. This movie felt like literally every single person involved with it just went, oh, okay.
We're here.
Hey, I'm going to write this movie. This is what I have written. Is that good? Yeah, it's okay. All right. F. Gary Gray, you want to direct this? Okay. Hey, Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, y'all want to be in this? Yeah, okay. Literally everybody involved, from the lighting guys to key grips, whatever, all the minor roles, everybody was just like, okay.
So, because of that, I mean, we walked away from this movie like,
okay,
it's a movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I go back and, talk about each individual person, like, it's really hard for me to pick out specific people who I think did a stellar job in this movie, because I think the movie itself provided a vehicle for people to just come in, do a serviceable job, and then go home.
I mean, it was a good, time killer for, 2 hours. It was entertaining. It had a somewhat of a decent story. I mean, it was enough to... There was some good funny bits. I think the beginning of it was pretty well done, knowing that we were going into this with Tessa Thompson's trying to find the MIB and join MIB type of thing. We knew that coming in that's what the beginning was going to be. I thought it was actually done pretty well for it being essentially an origin story.
Yeah, for her character at least.
But after that,
there just really isn't a whole lot to say about this. I put a hashtag on social media, hashtag mediocre, indifferent, bland, and that is what MIB stands for in this movie. It's not bad,
but it just isn't.
It just exists. That's it. There's no life to it. It felt
yeah.
Like. I didn't really feel like I had a reason to care about anybody or anything they were doing. They had to go to this place and that place. I mean, the jumping around through the different locations in the world was kind of cool.
There was a good bit of
the international aspect.
There was some good humor in this.
Yeah.
But I think the humor was just there to help carry the movie. You needed that humor, just like the original Men in Black had humor. Now, I mean, granted, that was Will Smith, like, mega star power humor coming in, but...
Yeah, and it's Will Smith and his buoyant personality playing off of Tommy Lee Jones's, like, curmudgeon.
But in this, I mean,
So that worked.
We've got Tessa Thompson, who really isn't known for comedic acting. We've got Chris Hemsworth, who's really only foray into comedic acting.
Is what he did as Thor.
The couple of funny things he did as Thor, and then the real big push in Thor Ragnarok to make it a lot more jovial.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. Like, Chris Hemsworth has those chops. He can do funny. He can do funny well. I just don't think they gave him enough funny to do in this movie, if that's really what they wanted to go for with his character. I don't think they gave him enough funny to do in this movie. And that might not necessarily be an actual complaint to this movie, because I think that they wanted to go both ways with his character. They wanted to keep him straight and narrow, as well as, throw some jokes in there every now and then. But for the most part, I think that leads to saying that most of the characters in this movie were just, they underused the actors who were portraying those characters.
It was like, hey, we've got Emma Thompson back in this. Hey, we've got Liam Neeson.
I mean, I will say this, like, let's go Liam Neeson. So Liam Neeson, I feel like, was actually taking his role seriously. Mm-hmm. And I did enjoy that. I enjoyed the idea. I enjoyed the fact that he felt like he was there and he was wanting to be there. Everyone else, they may have really wanted to be there, but I just don't feel like there was enough from them for them to feel like they wanted to be there.
Yeah.
I would say the only other person, and I'll bring this one up, the only other person who I really felt like wanted to be there in whatever capacity was Kumail Nanjiani. He was probably the one shining star in this entire movie for me.
Which, I mean, the fact that he was an entirely CGI character the whole time.
Yeah.
And basically just his voice that's amazing to be able to still, like, hold, like, the grasp and get that kind. I mean, I agree with that. I really liked, was it Pawnee?
Yeah.
His character Pawnee in this, which all kinds of reminds me of Parks and Rec. I was like,
yeah. The thing is that they did a really good job with the creation of his character. I feel like they spent the most time just really honing his character, because his voice fit that character very well, to a point where I know it's Kumail Nanjiani, but it's also Pawnee.
Yeah.
That's who I'm watching. I'm watching Pawnee right now. And I really can't get Parks and Rec out of my head now.
Now you hear it.
Yeah. Well, I've heard it the entire time. I just tried to ignore it. The thing is, though, is that his jokes were hilarious. Mm-hmm. His character, I really enjoyed his character. And if I'm ever to watch this movie again, it's going to be because of his character. Pretty much in his character alone.
Yeah.
That's going to get me to do it.
So overall storyline, it was there.
Yeah.
The actors, they were there.
There was a few nods to Men in Black before. A couple things here and there.
Pretty much for the most part you saw, like, in the trailer, and that's about it.
Give or take, yeah.
There were a couple of really good scenes and this, that, and the other. So, I mean, it was cool to see. It's worth a watch. This is what I would call, like, good, lazy Sunday afternoon viewing.
If it's on, you got nothing else to do, and you just want to probably fall asleep and take a nap halfway through. Cool.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, like, this cast, like, these characters, I think that there's potential for them in this genre, in this movie, to actually make a really fun and entertaining Men in Black movie.
The problem with the Men in Black series, though, is here we're talking about the fourth one. What else do you do at this point? I mean, the second one had the storyline of bringing back Tommy Lee Jones's K, so there was your different from the first movie. Then the third movie, to distinguish itself as separate from the first two, we added the time travel element.
Which gave us a really great performance from Josh Brolin as younger K.
As Tommy Lee Jones, yeah, that was
and
pretty
I
good.
actually really enjoyed that.
But now we've gotten the fourth movie, which we still have aliens attacking Earth, I think. Yeah. So what do? Well, let's just ditch all the characters, bring in a whole new one, and then go overseas. You probably could have, like, just brought in new characters first and then go overseas, like in the sequel to this one, but they kind of crammed it all in at once.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what it comes down to is that
it was there.
It was just there.
It's a movie.
It happened.
Yeah.
I don't think we can stress enough that this movie was okay.
I don't think we're saying we didn't like the movie, but I mean, it was like...
But I don't necessarily have a reason other than Kamal and Johnny to ever watch it again.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, if we're rating this movie, I'm going to say just based off of like our thoughts so far on this, that like, it did just enough to be watchable.
Yeah.
Out of 5, I'm going to give us probably about, 2.5 Frank the Talking Pug.
Okay. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I feel like I gave Dark Phoenix 2.5. For me, I actually enjoyed Dark Phoenix a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to give this one a 2. And this is the problem where we have with the 5s. We need to probably move this up to 10. Let us know in the comments if we should move it up to 10. For this, I'll go ahead and give it a 2. It's just, it's okay. I mean, wait, if you can see it, just wait for video on demand or
there's no real rush to go to the theater
or whatever. Don't spend $12, $15 plus dollars on a movie ticket.
Save your money for Toy Story next weekend, and
yeah, I'm hearing good things about that one.
Yeah,
might save this summer of mediocre movies.
Well, we still got a lot coming through with Lion King and Spider-Man, so
thank the Lord.
Yeah, we've got some good ones still on the horizon. So yeah, that's going to do it for this review. What did you think of it? What did you think of MIB International? Did you like it, not like it? Did you like our review or not like our review? Let us know down below. If you liked this video, make sure you hit like. If you didn't like this video, anyways, above our heads there is a subscribe button over here off to the side, or a couple other videos that we have done. And as always,
remember, we are your first, last, and only line of defense against bad movies.
Yep. Later.
See ya.
I don't know if I'd say we're the only. I mean, there are other people that do movie reviews besides us.
Just go with it.
Oh, okay.